with the Pacific Ocean just over our shoulder. Hi everybody, I'm Paul Bryan.
I'm Lauren Fix, and welcome to another episode of His Turn, Her Turn.
This time, the brand new Fiat 500X. Can't wait to show this to you. There were a lot of us who were anticipating the return of Fiat to the United States, happily. And one of the best ways that they had to do that was to do a reprise, not necessarily a reprise, but an evolution of a very iconic car in Italy, Cinquecento, Cinque 500. The 500 Fiat is what it was based on. This car is an homage to the 1957 Cinquecento that was, you'd see it all over Italy and really all over Europe. The new car, the 500 Cinquecento still, but the X model has, you can see very plainly, this little car here has grown up into this car here. And yet at the same time, you've got a lot of styling cues that are going on here that are common to both, and it's really good that they've done this. If you observe the headlight here and the headlight here, kind of a bug-eyed look to it a little bit, kind of a protruding headlight. That's a very signature for this car. And actually the double headlight is very signature to both. Even though it's gotten bigger, it still has that. When you take a look at this grille work in here, those are called the whiskers on this car. That's what they call them. That's the whiskers. And so you've got that. And then down on the bottom, a big smile. They've spent a gazillion lira on this thing, trying to help along the image of Fiat as a really fun car and a fun brand and a hip with it brand. And it is that. All of the advertising that they've done, the marketing that they've done, has said, this is kind of a quirky, fun car. This car is kind of quirky, it's very fun. The new car, the X, has a whole different feel to it. Even for me, and I'm a big fan of Fiat and Fiat products, this is the first 500 that I've seen where I like it for its styling on its own. It's almost gone mainstream. It's not like this car where you had to love it for its quirkiness. It's really, really done a nice job in that regard. When you look at the car, the interior room is great. The look on it from the outside is terrific. There are, 5 different levels that you can get, 12 different colors. It's a real fun car. I like the styling on this. Lauren's going to walk you a little bit through some of the features as well. This is a car that you're going to be able to put in your driveway and say, hey, you know what, that looks pretty cool.
Although the design is quite unique, being that it's a 500X, there are some neat things about this vehicle. It comes in either a 1.4 or a 2.4 liter engine. The 1.4 is in the POP, which is in the manual transmission, more fuel economy. This is in the X, where you're looking at, you can get the trekking, you can get the lounge, you can get the trekking plus. It depends what you want. Has 18-inch wheels and some really cool colors too. There's about 12 different colors. There are 70 different safety features on this car. That's a lot. That's 7 airbags, forward lane warning, lane change departure. I mean, there's a lot. I want to make this car my own. You can pick 500 different combinations of these cars, but Mopar, which is the performance division of FCA, which we all know as Chrysler and Dodge and Fiat, has some really cool things. You can get aftermarket wheels, catback exhaust. They have really cool floor mats. They've got little spats in case you want to keep the dirt off the back of your car. So they've really started designing things that were for this car to make it your own. They have Cat Skin, which is a brand name for interiors. You can get all kinds of neat things that make this car your own. So I have to give them a lot of credit for that, because that's one thing Mopar has always done well. Now, when you're looking at a car like this, it's a little bit of bigger car, and it does compete with the Countryman. It competes with the Juke, which is made by Nissan, with the Chevy Trax. I like this car because when you pull in with it, it has a very unique and distinct look. Okay, the other vehicles do as well, but this one is just that much more than its predecessor, being the regular 500. It has soft touch everywhere, on the seats, on the door panels. I have to say, they had to step up their game in order to compete with what's in the marketplace. And starting at $20,000 for the pop, moving all the way up to $27,000 when you're looking at the Trekking Plus and you really want everything. You know, this is a lot of car for the money.
On Pacific Coast Highway in California in beautiful occupied Malibu. Oh,
yeah,
God,
it's beautiful here.
This is so nice.
If you can afford it.
And who can't on a journalist's salary? Let's talk about this Fiat 500X from a driving perspective. It shares a lot of its architecture with the Jeep Renegade.
Right.
But we've already reviewed the Renegade together, and this has
Make sure to watch that video.
Yeah, this has a totally different feel to it from the way that the Renegade feels, even though they're basically the same vehicle. They've got different missions. This, the all-wheel drive on the Jeep was set up that you could take it off-road with no problem at all. This is not designed to do that. If you're looking for something to go rock crawling in that, this is not the vehicle for you. However...
Do not take a Fiat 500X.
No.
Rock
However, if what you're looking for is something that you want to have the confidence of all-wheel drive available for you, then this may, and still have the nice trappings of a smaller SUV.
Compact.
Yeah. Is it a sports car? No, it's not. Is it an off-road car? No, it's not. But it is going to give the owner a high degree of confidence in knowing that if you're in one of those northern tier states where you've got sloppy roads and ice and snow and whatever you might run into, then it's going to be able to do it.
I like the new design. I think they did a great job on design. There's a lot of heritage here, and so I think they had to keep true to that, because I think people that buy these cars kind of want that personality.
They do, and it draws on the car's history. It draws on styling cues and elements that are very much Fiat.
Right.
But with a different application.
Right, and as far as some of the interesting things, there's a drive mode that is automatic, sport, and trekking, which is off-road. I personally would have liked to seen the all-wheel drive go in and out on its own, like the competition does, make it all-wheel drive. But I tried it in the automatic. I tried it in the sport mode on Mulholland Drive. And, you know, it's not a race car, but for a daily driver to have fun,
I'd say it's adequate.
Adequate. All right, I'll give you adequate. You could feel the difference in handling. There was definitely a difference in handling, and the steering wheel is nice and tight. I like that. It's a nice, good, grippy steering wheel. The seats are comfortable, which I think is also important. And I like the new interior. Everything's a lot of soft touch here, which is needed.
Got 3 different radios to work with as well. On the base level, there's a base level, then there's an intermediate, and then a high def with the nav system in it as well.
And Beats. It's got the Beats system in it, which is cool. There's no Wi-Fi on the car. You can buy the vehicle, you know, without the nav. You can buy it as a base model coming in, what, about $20,000, I think it said?
23.
23, and that's for the pop, which comes manual. I thought the screen was good size considering the car. All the controls were very easy to use. They made a lot of changes as far as the center console, and just making it more friendly. I think ergonomic, I would say, would be right?
Activity, lots of stuff.
Multifunctional steering wheel is really nice. I mean,
heated seats and steering wheel is available as well for northern climate.
Yeah, and of course you get this nice little sunroof here, as you can see how nice it's good sized. But I don't know, I like the sunroof. It's nice. I mean,
you're a big fan of sunroofs.
I like big sunroof. I want panoramic roofs. But you know, driving here in California, you know, you want to bring the sunshine in. I think there's a song that goes that way. It's probably getting good fuel economy as well. I mean, we were talking 40.9 miles to the gallon, which I was pretty impressed with that. There are 2 engine choices, and all the information, the statistics on that are below. So make sure to check that out. So we got good fuel economy. You know, I think this is a great daily driver. Their bulk of their sales right now is everywhere but in the Northeast, so they want to boost their Northeast sales. Here you're talking Boston, New York, you need to have all-wheel drive. We had a lot of snow this year, and so it sort of put a little hamper on their sales. So these will be in dealerships. It looks like it's going to be in May.
Yeah. You know, before you yell at me for wearing my sunglasses.
I mean, really, what does he think? He's somebody famous?
We are in Hollywood. Anyway, thanks so much for checking out the new Fiat 500X with us today. I'm Paul Bryan. You can find me Saturday mornings on WLS Radio in Chicago. I tweet at the Paul Bryan, accept no imitations. And you can also find me on Facebook. And if you like, you can subscribe to the podcast that are on the WLSAM.com site. You can be found where?
I am
everywhere.
Well,
she's ubiquitous.
I'm on Newsmax, I'm on the Weather Channel, Parade Magazine. You'll find me everywhere. Just go to laurenfix.com. You can sign up for the free newsletter. You can see all the segments and things that we've done there. Also, you can follow me on Twitter. I post every day something interesting. I'm also on Instagram. The key thing here is to follow us on our Facebook page, His Turn, Her Turn. We love having your comments below. And as the car coach, it's great to have Paul Bryan.
We love all of the comments except for the guy that yelled at me for doing this.
Don't put your foot on the car.
I'll stop. I'm done. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks
Tune
so
in
much.
later for another episode from wherever the heck we wind up.
Yeah, and we've got lots of other great reviews for you to check out too.